to sleep, my life has no meaning. None. You understand? When I'm not allowed to sleep. Okay? No one's forcing my mom to be asleep or saying she just has to stay in the bed and watch TV. And she can't just have the clicker and have free reign of the TV because she'll have it too loud. Of course she will. Or she'll mess it up. Or there'll be some other thing that'll call, like she messed it up the other day, but it was in the daytime. Okay? The irony of her watching that Bruce Willis special that was on last night. I watched it as well in her room because I didn't want to hear her. And I don't want to watch it with her. I don't want to watch it with her because she's unable to recognize she behaves the same way. She might not have that, but she behaves the same way. No empathy, no compassion, no awareness of what she does. Irony of her wanting to watch that, okay? It's just her unbelievable lack of awareness that she thinks nothing is wrong with her, nothing mentally, nothing physically. I mean, that's just, no empathy, no compassion. Spouts off, I love you, you don't love me. No, you don't, you don't, you don't. If you loved me, you would let me sleep. If you loved me, you would not be getting in out of your bed into that wheelchair and back and all of that when I can't sleep and I know any moment you could get hurt. But the irony of her watching that and the irony of her wanting to get the book is so fucking only really, I mean, Joe will get the irony. He'll be like, holy shit. He's like, she belongs in a straitjacket and she wants to, she watches this special and she wants to read the book. It just sums up. It sums up my living fucking hell nightmare. The fact that she watched that and she just is clueless, recognizes nothing, and then she wants me to get her the book to read. I was supposed to have had my dentist appointment today, and then my cleaning next week. Neither of those are happening. But they're very understanding. They even said that, they can, as long as we have notice, they understand my caregiving situation, whatever, and they could say we can try to do them in the same day, at the same time. So if I can find a caregiver for my mother, which I have to do, I can't just not go to any medical appointment or anything at all. Occupational therapist came yesterday and mentioned something that I'd never thought of. Getting her a bed alarm. I didn't think about doing that for the home, but again, I'll do it. But if I get a bed alarm, and she pulls something like she pulled tonight, it's like, it's just, I'll know if she's getting up, of course. But tonight she wouldn't stop yelling. I had to go in there more than once, and then of course I'm not able to fall back to sleep. She took off her bra, she gets naked, and then wants to, you don't need to put the bra back on. You took it off, you chose it. I don't sleep at night in a bra, most people don't. You don't need the bra. And then she was shouting about other things for almost an hour. I had to go in there more than once. She goes without saying she got out of the bed and into the wheelchair. Of course she did, and then she denies that I didn't do that. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, you did. Because I'm continuously made to feel like I'm in the fucking twilight zone. I took a picture of you in the wheelchair out of your bed. Okay? Of course she did. And she denies it. The irony of her watching that. No fucking way were they going to watch it with her. Are you kidding me? I wanted to see it. I watched it in her bedroom. She watched it in the living room. I could have comfortably watched it with her under past years of normal circumstances where, these are not normal circumstances. My mother's so unwell and just thinks nothing's wrong with her at all. And then anything she does, she denies, plunging me into more hell. And last week, the paramedic, 2 of them come. I still live in this fantasy la la land where I'm like, telling them that, they don't care. They don't care if someone is going to keep getting up out of bed and putting their life in danger and whatnot. It's not grounds to, and I get that. It wasn't really grounds in Massachusetts either, although when it happened twice, I think in the same day, or the night, the first time was when she had walked across the room without her walker, to get to that, and then I was lectured, you have to leave it near her. All right, I'll leave it near her, and she can go to the bathroom by herself and do all this crap she wants to do by herself, and lo and behold, in the same night, she tripped and fell, and this time, I said, you have to take her. Okay. But then they take her, and she catches something in the hospital, so it's not like she fell and broke a hip or something, but then she became deathly ill, I'm in a new state with new professionals, and I have to say, the last time around, it wasn't that she got injured. She became very sick. I can handle everything but not sleeping. She's got to let me sleep even if she stays awake. Because she wants to, and it's not the same like if I can fall back to sleep even for an hour and then or an hour and a half or whatever and then just repeat again, that's fine. But not when she's shouting the entire time and then because she's wide awake wants to go pee, then I haven't slept at all. See? That's when it becomes living hell to a woman. And of course, no empathy, no compassion. Just go back to bed, you're fine. No, I'm not. You have no idea. You have no idea. You have me so wired that I can't fall back to sleep, Mom. And then it affects you during the day because you're not going to get anything good out of me and I can't do anything and I have to get this moved. I have to find a place that's going to remove the squirrel and not kill it. I'm not having an exterminator or whatever. I don't even know how that works. How do they get the squirrel out and how do they know it hasn't done damage already? And again, how did it get in? It got in because the kid who was with that guy who charged me all that money for a short amount of time, and the kid had called 20s or 20s kid, whatever, he was a kid, helping his family member or whatnot, was uncomfortable when I was upset about paying, all that money for that short amount of time they did the work. And And the guy even admitted, and overestimated, like, it took me a lot less time than I thought it would. But yeah, but you're not going to reduce the price, are you, motherfucker? No. Even when you, well, the best I can do is give you 100 off, and in the end, I gave him, I gave it to him anyway. I don't like paying in that manner anyway. You know, I'm not doing anything wrong. And if they're doing anything wrong, any of these companies that want you to pay them in that manner, the fact is, he should have given me back the 100 in good conscience, good faith, good whatever. But the kid decided to clean my gutters and knocked down the side, and I'm so just naive and agitated and whatnot continuously that I didn't realize that they put it back worse and that fucking animals were gonna get into it. I haven't talked to the multi, I haven't even looked at the report. I feel very overwhelmed and I can't get anything done when she pulls the shit she pulled tonight. I got stuff done yesterday because she was really good the night before, so there's no rhyme or reason to it. Bruce Willis's rich wife, they're rich, but she seems super kind and nice. She recognizes that she doesn't live in La La Land. She recognizes that she has the money to hire a whole team of caregivers to take care of her loved one, you know, and because she has children, she has it done outside of the house because that's what Bruce would want. His daughters mean everything to him, and he wouldn't want them to have to change their lifestyle to cater to him. She built a whole other house. Like I said, she's in that percentage that could do that. But she recognizes that 99.9999% of the caregivers in this world, in this whatever, don't have her means to do anything. Okay? Talked about the Pure Wick system with the occupational therapist. I said Ron's not a good candidate for that. I talked about one of your people at length with one of your people, your peers, or whatever, in Massachusetts, and my mother's not a good candidate for the Pure Wick. Plus, it's ultra mega expensive and not covered at all by insurance. So. But that wouldn't help something like tonight where she just, I don't know, she refuses to. I've given her melatonin, been doing that, melatonin every night. Remember, she was on Ativan for a long time, years and years and years, over a decade, longer, whatever, I don't know. The last time around, the doctor decided to take her off of Ativan because he felt like it. It is because he felt like it. It's at their discretion to do what they want, not even communicate with the healthcare proxy invoked. And I find out months later. Took her off Ativan that she'd been doing very well on for a long time, really good for anxiety. I don't know why. I want to know. I have to know now because this brain bleed had her taken off of Aliquis. And people ask me around here, professionals, like, why was she on it in the first place? We had a phone thing with the doctor, and he's like, well, she can go back on Aliquis, but I'm like, I don't know if she should be on it. I don't know why she was put on it in the first place. You know, you guys in the hospitals, you invoke the healthcare proxy, and then you don't communicate with me. And I'm not faulting you, like you took her off of that, but that's not the same as putting on all this new stuff and taking her off of Ativan. Ativan is for anxiety, and Ativan was probably good for her, and today's gonna be a really bad day for me. Bad day. Certainly not gonna sit outside with her and it's nice out. Again, even when she gets up every hour and a half to pee, but she's silent in between. I mean, she falls back to sleep. That's not the greatest for me either, but something like she did tonight is living fucking hell. It's hell. It's hell. This is the timeline of what happened tonight. I get lulled into a false sense of security when I have the good nights, which was just the night before. And I think, oh, maybe the melatonin's going to work. Maybe she'll sleep. Because again, my fantasy is that she will just sleep, pee, and then wake up hours later and we change her. So last night, she went to bed at 10 and slept with TV on, Bachelor in Paradise, until 12:30. I'd fallen asleep in the chair in the living room. A new couch came and I'd fallen asleep in the chair in the living room. I went into her room and found her already in her wheelchair. So I don't know. Remember, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this. That's why the paramedic who came here, I put her TV on level she likes. Is a motherfucking ignorant fuck, okay? That was last week, right? She can't have the TV on at levels she likes and expect me to hear her when she needs to go pee. But anyway, I fell asleep in the living room. She has Bachelor in Paradise on in here. And if I'm watching TV and she's watching TV, it's highly likely that I might not hear her right away. But she's supposed to, if in my fantasy world, she would never get up out of the bed and into the wheelchair. She would just pee into a what, But in any case, I found her already in her wheelchair. So, went to bed at 10, slept with TV on until 12:30. She would fall right to sleep. I'd fallen asleep in chair in the living room with the TV on fairly low. I was watching the current episode of Bachelor in Paradise because I missed some of it the night before. When I had to take care of my mom meds in bed and all that, and just pee. I went to her room and found her already in her wheelchair. I get all upset at that, but I don't yell or anything. I'm just like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be in the wheelchair. You're supposed to wait to meet him. You didn't come. I don't know that I didn't come. I feel like I come in a split. I don't know. With the TV's on, it's a very precarious situation. With her TV's on at all, but again, she won't go to bed now without it. So, what am I supposed to do? So I got back into bed. I went to sleep at 1 in here. And I wrote, it's 1 a.m. and I'm praying she sleeps at least 3 hours. I'm going to sleep now. This was at 1. I didn't get my 3 hours. I got only an hour and a half, but then that would have been okay, except it turned into living fucking hell. So, She woke up at 2:30. I took her to pee. I pray she goes back to sleep. I pray she goes back to sleep. It's 2:42. She's shouting for me. I'm rightly ignoring her because, again, she wants to stay up all night. I am not going to stay up all night. You understand? She wants to stay up all night. I have to fucking sleep. She doesn't have to do anything during the day. I have 1,000,001 things to do. Okay? Take care of her. I'm doing laundry by hand. I need a washer and dryer. I need to get rid of the squirrel, find someone to get rid of the squirrel and cut the trees and the mold guy and contracting work and everything else. Oh, well, I just want to curl up into a ball and disappear for good. Right? It's 2:42. She's shouting for me. I'm rightly ignoring her. Bachelor in Paradise is on low in her room. Neither my problem nor my fault if she gets up and gets hurt. It's 2:45 a.m. Back to sleep. I'm going now. Or so I thought. Or so I thought. That wasn't going to happen in any universe. 3:23 a.m. and she's still up and yelling. So I took her to pee. Again, she normally wouldn't have to pee if she goes back to sleep. I know that for a fact because the other night she slept 3 hours and didn't even pee herself. Woke up and peed. But if you're awake, I end up peeing too when I take her. But normally I'd be sound asleep and I don't have to pee every fucking hour. But if I take her, my body is up and then wants to pee. That's the whole thing. It's not that she has to pee. It's that she refused to go back to sleep. 3:23, she's still up and yelling. See, up and yelling, keeping and yelling. If she's up and, but if she is up in the wheelchair, then I'm worried sick that something's going to happen to her. It was just like last week. It just wasn't nothing. She fell, but it was okay. She was fine. She just fell off the wheelchair because she didn't lock it. She's still up and yelling. I took her to pee at 3:30. She has zero empathy or compassion for me. She thinks she does nothing wrong. She has zero awareness of how ill she really is. She needs a new brain scan. We need to see if her dementia's gotten worse. I have to sleep at night. My life has zero meaning to me if I'm not allowed to sleep. She can't have the remote or the TV loud at night. I need to not hear the TV. And also, I need to hear if she calls out to me to take her to the bathroom or if she falls and I need to call 911. Male paramedic who said to me last week, I got her back into bed and put TV on at levels she likes. Go fuck yourself. He made a point of saying that at levels she likes, not understanding, because of course they don't care. Call us when she falls. No, she needs to have whatever she wants and I don't matter. And, is nothing but a sickeningly ignorant fuck. And of course, when I went in there, when she called me to take her to pee again, she was in the wheelchair. We know she was in the wheelchair. It goes without saying that she denies it. She's just not sleeping. We don't know why she's not sleeping. Oh, another thing, she wants water, of course, so she can wake up in a half hour, an hour. So I don't get to have any sleep tonight at all. At all. At all. And again, whole laundry list of things I'm supposed to do during the day on no sleep. The other day I got no sleep all night, but at least I got sleep in between her waking up every hour. And again, that's okay if you wake up to pee every hour. It's not okay. It's not sleeping at all and not going back to sleep and shouting and everything else. And most importantly, in getting in and out of the wheelchair and then denying it. I'll go give her water. Whatever. I don't get to have anything in this life. Nothing. Nothing. Already don't get to have any, comfort, compassion from another human being. Nothing like that. I was in a lot of pain in my back yesterday, and, still have to do everything I need to do, right? doesn't matter, I don't matter until, something happens to me, and then she's screwed. But she can't, unable to grasp that. She's unable to grasp her precarious situation if something happens to me, and that I cannot, Joe gets it. Joe told me even in the hotel, he's like, he understands having to sleep. He's like, I would have zero guilt if something happened to, like, whatever, even if it was fatal, because I have to sleep, because he's just like, you get up constantly, yeah, that's what you have to do. And that's okay, but if you escalate it where you don't go to sleep in between, even if it's an hour and a half of me sleeping, then it's living fucking hell, and I can't function, and my life has no meaning at all. None. Zero. Zilch. I'll go bring her some water so she can wake up in a half hour and have to pee. She has no concept of that either. I told her, I said, last night, last night, you able to sleep 3 hours at a time, and you didn't pee yourself at all. And it was wonderful heaven for me, because you didn't have any water before going to bed. You didn't have any water to get in the middle of the night. She doesn't understand, it's the water that does it. I'm thirsty, I need to drink, then whatever, Mom, whatever. I don't get to have any life or any meaning in my life at all until something horrible happens to me. That's how it goes, right? And to think of what I used to think, of what would happen with me, to think of what I thought was going on behind the scenes with blessed fucks who wouldn't even spit on me in the street. I mean, I'm insane. So we proved that, didn't we? Proof is in the pudding. And now my life is just like nothing. I have nothing, and I just, I'm not even allowed to fucking sleep. Even, again, if she has to pee and wakes up to pee, that's one thing. If I take her to pee and she refuses to go back to bed and then is in and out of the wheelchair and shouting for me continuously for an hour, that's a whole other ballgame. That is living fucking hell for me. Living fucking hell. And then she denies it.